Hey, thanks for checking out my channel. Welcome to Beer with Boosh.
I was talking to my buddy the other day and I was telling him how I was going to do a couple of cold weather beer videos. And we got in the conversation of what exactly is a cold weather beer. And to me, a cold weather beer is typically going to be darker and heavier beer, but not necessarily a high alcohol beer. They're comfort beers that really go with cooler weather and that kind of remind you that life is good even if the weather outside's not. Now, to be sure, these beers are sold and drank year-round, but seeing someone drink a stout in the heat of summer, well, that just kind of turns my stomach. So let's go ahead and get started with part one.
Part one is basically going to be our Modelo Negra, Deshutes Porter, and Sierra Nevada Porter. And we're going to leave these two for part two. So let me get the rest of these back in the refrigerator and we'll start with our first beer. Alright, so our first beer up today is Modelo Negra. And this is a dark lager. And one of the reasons I like this as a cold weather beer is it's pretty deep and malty. It's 5.4% alcohol. I paid $10 for a 6-pack, and this is a 12-ounce bottle. Yeah, so like a deep, rich malt flavor to it. And this is going to sound weird when I tell you, but it kind of tastes, it has like almost like a prune taste to it. Real faint. It tastes like prunes to me. And again, you would think like, man, that sounds disgusting. But it actually isn't. You can see the color of the beer here. We'll hold it up to the light. Got plenty of good sunlight today. And this is one of those sleeper beers that you might not ever try in the store because it's like, oh, Negra Modelo. You know, I'm familiar with Corona. This is so out of the realm of all those other beers, Pacifico and all those other beers, that it's just a delicious beer that's, you know, kind of catches you off guard. You wouldn't think that this dark beer, you'd think, well, it's super dark. It's going to be really bitter and bold or whatever. And what it is very, very malty and smooth.
It's a nice change of pace. If you suffer from IPA burnout, it's a great beer to come back to. It's a great session beer. If you're not familiar with the term session beer basically means it's a beer you can sit down and drink all afternoon without really getting crushed because of the low alcohol content. Well, there you have it, Negra Modelo, fantastic beer. So we'll move on to our next one.
All right, so our next beer on tap here, pardon the pun, is Deshutes Black Butte Porter. Now, I hope I'm saying the name right. I don't know if I am or not, but that's what I just called Deshutes. Hopefully someone will correct me in the comments. But Black Butte Porter. And this is 5.5% alcohol. I paid $10 for a 6-pack and the 12-ounce bottles. So we'll go ahead and open this up. And again, porters are a wonderful, wonderful cold weather beer because they can be rich without being too heavy. And on a cold day, even though the beer is cold, a nice porter always makes your day. So, if I would say one thing about this beer, I would say standard. So what I mean by that, it's not a knock on the beer. It's a fantastic standard type of porter. When you drink this, this is what a porter should taste like. It's not a brown and it's not a stout. Kind of right there in the middle. A little bit of a bitter back end. Not a lot. It's a smooth beer that has a hearty, bold taste. It's hard to go wrong with a porter on a cold day. Now, if you don't like browns, you don't like stouts, there's always a possibility that you will like a porter. It's not kind of earthy like a brown, and it's not too bitter like a stout. It's just kind of right in the middle. And it still has a little bit of that earthiness to it, but still being very, 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 very drinkable. You can see the color here. I probably picked the wrong glass for pouring this in, so you can see the color of the beer. And this is something else. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with being a standard bearer for what a product should be, and this is exactly what you get. You get a Black Butte Porter, It's not going to be something crazy. It's not going to be something outrageous. It's going to be a good porter. And there's nothing wrong with drinking just a great representation of the type of beer that it is. I've drank this beer before. That's why it's on this list of what I think are 5 great beers to drink in cool weather. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I can drink to that, huh? Oh, man. All right, so we're gonna stop right here and then move on to our last one. And just for the record, I'm not drinking these straight through. I'm drinking about half of it here, and I'll put it in the refrigerator. It's not the greatest for the beer, obviously, to come back and drink it, 10 or 15 minutes later after it's been open. But, for the sake of the video, that's what we're gonna do, and then I'll just enjoy these on my own with another cigar here at the end of the day. So here we are at our third and final beer for this episode, which is Sierra Nevada Porter. It is 5.6% alcohol. I paid $10 for it, and that was a 6-pack at 12-ounce bottles. Now, the crazy part about this is that I had to go to Alabama to find this beer. Like, it was in a random gas station, and they had a bunch of great Sierra Nevada beers, and here it was. I'm here in Texas where I am. I can't find this beer anywhere. So I had to ship it back with me on the airline, and this is all that's left. I had a 6-pack when I left. I couldn't stand to not drink it, so this is the last one of the bunch that I got. I held it off just for this video. It's been hard sitting there, 2 or 3 weeks. I've been looking at this beer and saying to myself, that's a good looking beer. But we've held it off for you, so I hope you appreciate the sacrifice I've made having to wait 3 weeks to drink this thing. Now, the interesting part about this beer is that it is bottle conditioned. So what that means, it's got active yeast put into the bottle in order to ferment inside. And there's a pro and a con to active yeast beers. The pro is typically they're really great. They taste fantastically fresh. The downside is if you get any of that yeast into your system, if you drink it, it's not the end of the world, but man, it is gonna clean you out. Like the Drano man came to your house for a New Year's Eve party and just didn't leave. Okay, so but if you ever have any issues with constipation, get yourself a bottle conditioned beer and drink the whole thing down. You won't have any problems anymore. So we're gonna go ahead and open it up. Pour it in. I'm gonna try to be careful here to try not to get any of that yeast in my glass, while still maintaining as much beer as I can get out of the bottle. So we got a little bit in there, but I'm not gonna pour it in. You can see, now look at this, it's such a deep, rich color. And this is the Deshutes Porter. You can see it's actually a little bit darker than the Deshutes, or at least it seems that way. And maybe it's the glass, maybe I'm just messing with myself here. So we're gonna go ahead and take a drink. So here's what's great about this beer. It's a porter. It has some of the same characteristics as the Black Butte Porter, but it has almost a sweet back end finish to it. And again, really fantastic beer. Take a look here and see what it looks like inside. Yeah, so this is like a porter, even though it's not, it's only 0.1% more alcohol than the Deshutes. It has the distinctive, different porter taste. Again, you got a basic porter, and then this has got, again, a back end taste to it that's just a little bit sweet. if you sit there and think about it, you'll taste it. If you're just going to chug it, then no, you're not going to taste that sweet back in. That's what she said. The truth of the matter is, Sierra Nevada makes fantastic beers. And I don't like every single Sierra Nevada beer that they come out with, but man, when they set their mind to doing something that's going to be like kind of a standard for what things should taste like, Sierra Nevada's right there. And this porter, again, no different. This porter is just wonderful. The fact that it's bottle conditioned makes it even better. So this beer I bought 3 weeks ago. Yeah, 3 weeks ago. And it doesn't, like, you know, it's been in the refrigerator. It wasn't in the refrigerator when I flew on the airplane. It went in the cargo hold. It came back and went right into the refrigerator. So it's a possibility that, you know, it lost some of its flavor. Well, you know, from going from cold to relatively warm to back to cold. But I'll tell you what, I can't taste it. It is a wonderful representation of a porter. So here we go. We got Negra Modelo, Black Butte, and Sierra Nevada Porter. And if you get a chance, there goes the cat. All right, he was just going to be a pain in the ass today, I guess. So I would say I couldn't find this beer anywhere except, like I said, a gas station in Alabama, which is good for them. That gas station is rocking. Just like I did a video about gas station cigars, do not always count out the gas stations for having great quality microbrew or craft brew beer. I mean, you know, depending on who owns the gas station, you could find yourself in just a microbrew heaven, or, you know. But yeah, I found that in a gas station. This is standard at Kroger here. And this is standard at Kroger here too, but I can't find this beer anywhere. So, fantastic beer. Again, if you see this beer, pick it up and try it. If you're a fan of porters, I would try it. I mean, even if you're not a fan of porters, pick it up and try it. If you get a chance to buy this beer, try it. Again, it's gonna be deep and rich and malty, and a little bit bitter on the back end. That's what a porter is. Again, not quite a stout, not quite a brown. Just kind of in between there, and you know, I've always been a fan of porters. I mean, typically porter is going to be really smoky, a smoky flavor to it, and these also have that smoky flavor to it as well. And again, Modelo Negra, just a fantastic beer all around. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you got anything for me, you know, leave a comment down below. I don't care if you hit like or whatever. If you want to subscribe, that'd be great. I still have we still have part 2 of our cold weather beers coming up with a couple of stouts. And I got a couple of cigar reviews there, and we've got a couple other beer reviews, and we're heading on. We'll be getting into video gaming here pretty soon, and a couple of firearms reviews as well. So check back, and again, subscribe if you want, and really leave a comment. Let me know. Did I pronounce this right? Is it Black Butte or is it Black Butte? Is it not Deshutes? Is it Deshutes or something like that? I don't know. I don't pretend to know everything about these beers. I'm just telling you, when I do these videos, I do them because I love beer, and whether I say it right or wrong, or, you know, it doesn't matter. What matters is that there's fantastic beers out there that a lot of people haven't tried, and I hope my videos help you go out of your comfort zone and try that beer. You know, don't buy the Coors Light one weekend. Yeah, these beers are going to cost you a little bit more than you would for a 12-pack of Coors Light, but you know what? Sometimes quality is better than quantity, okay? You know, almost always quality is better than quantity. Well, taking that from an old guy, quality is better than quantity. You know, I had my days of drinking Mickey's malt liquor and everything else, you know, but as you get older, you know, you want a better taste to what it is you're drinking. And so that's what we want to do here on this channel. So thanks a lot for watching. And, you know, L'chaim, which means to life. L'chaim, to life.